Hello. Welcome to this new video. Today, I want to go over nslookup. If you do network security, network administration, you have to know nslookup. You don't have to know it all, meaning you don't have to know all the syntax and the advanced syntax, but you need to know what the command is, what it does, and how it can help you do your job better. Now, here we are in our Kali computer, and I'm going to be testing one of my domains, right? And we're going to be doing the type, and we're going to be doing that, we're going to do equals. And you have to specify the record type that you want to query about, right? In this case, we could do, for instance, TXT. Let's say that you want to know all the TXT records that are configured in a domain. And why would you like to know that information? Well, when you're doing reconnaissance, you try to collect as much information as you can about your target. Not only that, it's for best practices. If you're doing security, and we're going to be doing this in one of the examples, and you want to see if that domain is protected again against spoofing, meaning that there is a DMARC policy implemented on that domain, you're going to be able to find that information from here. So we're going to do TXT, and I'm going to do jdtechsolutions.net. And as you can see in the results, it's going to provide detailed information about the TXT records on that specific domain, and it's going to provide that information. Now, this information may or may not be something that makes sense to you at any given time, but it's information that you could use for specific purposes if that's what you're looking for. So let me move to something else. Let's say that you want to find the MX record of that domain. So I'm going to do MX. And here we have the MX record of that domain, right? And the MX record is pointing to this email server. As I mentioned to you before, this is doing reconnaissance. And now, if you're doing reconnaissance, you want to find out what the MX record of that domain is. And then you want to find out if that domain is being protected against anti spoofings by having a DMARC policy implemented. So change the MX to a TXT, and we want to find out if we have a DMARC policy enabled on that domain. So we're going to hit enter, and it's going to tell us that it can find DMARC because I misspelled DMARC again. And as you can see in the results, we don't have a DMARC policy for that domain because it says known right here. So hypothetically speaking, an attacker could potentially spoof our domains and send emails on our behalf or on the behalf of this domain, because this domain does not have the proper security and controls in place to prevent that type of attacks. And we got that information by using NS Lookup, right? So I created another video to address this issue, and that's something that you can look into. Now, something that you have to keep in mind is that in this case, every time that I'm querying something, you're going to see that it's replying from server 75, 75, 75, 75. So if you see in my case, I see the server 75, 75, 75, 75 on port 53, and that is DNS. And that is the DNS server that my computer is receiving the updates or is resolving from, right? But as you know, when it comes to DNS, it all relies on replication. So you may query a DNS servers, and this is something that I use quite often when we're making changes to the DNS zones. There's that replication period that is going to take place when you make changes to DNS, depending on the DNS server that you're using and technology. They usually say 24 to 48 hours, but sometimes you're going to be able to see the results, the replication within minutes, but it doesn't mean that it's going to replicate all around the world. Maybe in that region, in that section where you are, the replication is going to be faster, but sometimes it takes longer to replicate everywhere, right? So, what you could do in that case is that you can query specific DNS servers, but you need to know the IP address. For instance, if you want to query, right now I'm querying 75.75.75.75 as my DNS server, but you can force the query to ask specific DNS server. In this case, we're going to have the same syntax, but we're sending that request to 8.8.8.8 because we're saying, you know what, query that DNS servers. And this is something that actually is super useful, especially in large organizations with multiple sites and multiple DNS servers. When, they make changes, if you want to see if you have issues, you could do this on one server, query one server instead of querying the default server. I don't know if I lost you there, but I hope you got the point. So when we do that, let me come in here and I'm going to hit enter. And we're going to get the same results, but this time again, what's important is that we are asking a different DNS server for that same information. I'm going to bring back the cheat sheet that I created. And as you could see, you have a couple of examples that you can use here. This is what we just did. You can query a specific DNA server. Remember something, let me bring back the syntax here. The most important aspect of nslookup is knowing what type of record you are looking for. And this is what you have to pay attention to, right? But this is where you have to specify that information. And then the syntax is super simple because right after that, you're going to go with the domain that you want to get that information from. And if you feel that you need to query one specific server, then you specify the IP address of that server, and whatever queries you're going to send are going to be sent directly to it. So thanks for watching. If you found this information useful, all I ask you to do is to click on the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll talk to you on the next video.